Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. So why is it that we find so few of us who are willing to work on our own healing, to work on ourselves, to face our traumas, to face the very thing that has put us in a place so not nice in life? Why? Even though a lot of people advocate doing it, but why is it that so few of us are willing to take it up? Even though we know it might work out very well, maybe because it's very difficult. Maybe because it's very painful, it can be extremely alienating and make you feel very lonely and alone. And that's very difficult to deal with, especially if you're dealing, which normally all of us are, with other things. We have financial issues, we have health issues, we have relationship issues, we have family issues, we have work issues, and we have our own past, we have our mistakes, we have failures, and everything put together. And then after all of that, we have to go and actively look at that festering wound that we've been trying not to look at, that we've been trying to just get rid of. Unsuccessfully, of course, but still, it is difficult and it is painful. Because to understand, to accept, to acknowledge that it's not others, but our own inability to look at what has hurt us, to carry this hurt for this long, to carry this wound within for so long, that has caused us, that has driven us to take these decisions that have turned out so wrong in our life. It's a very hard thing to do. And that is why it is but normal that nobody wants to do it. Even if you're one of the lucky ones who has access to a therapist, to therapy, has a good support system, that you have people around you who are aware of their own traumas, who have worked on them, and who can give you the right support without interfering, while letting you do your own work, you are indeed lucky and you're blessed. But unfortunately, the majority of people who are battling unspeakable pain, they don't have access to it. Financial reasons, cultural reasons, or whatever it may be, but most people don't have access to therapy, most people don't have access to support systems, and if they decide to take this up, they will be pushed to do this alone. So, it is important that we understand and acknowledge what it will entail. It means that you feel despair, the kind of despair that seems never ending. It is very, very scary to first to admit to yourself what exactly it is that you've been carrying, the kind of hurt and pain that was meted out to you. Then to realize that it was unfair. It was not your responsibility to go through whatever it is that you went through, that it was just unfair. And then to understand that because of your unwillingness to deal with it has led you to this place where, running from it, you have created a life you no longer identify with. That can really, really stress people out. That can further heighten the depression and anxiety that we already have. That is why when and if you do decide, when things come to a standstill, when things come to a place where you can no longer lead a life that doesn't resonate with who you are, you will be forced to look at yourself and do this. So when you do start doing, please remember and don't be surprised that healing is going to hurt. That it is going to take time, that it is not a straight linear path where you start healing and everything works out hunky-dory. No, it doesn't. It is difficult, it is painful, it is confusing, and often it will not make any sense. But if you do decide to go ahead and do it, please know that you will certainly come out better, stronger. You no longer will take decisions that clearly don't serve you. And most importantly, you no longer will hurt people around you, people who love you and whom you love. Because hurt people hurt people. That is true. And I was trying to see what exactly healing means when I was trying to read and when I was trying to look up. And I came across this quote by Stephanie Gailing, and it says something to the effect of that healing means the end of conflict within yourself. Like you are no longer in conflict with yourself. And I think that kind of sums up so well that the dissonance, it's like the battle that like you kind of having within yourself, it's like it starts to calm down. You're more sure, you trust yourself more. But to get there, you still have to go through the process of working on yourself. And another thing is that it doesn't end. You just don't come to a point and say, fine, I'm healed and I no longer have to deal with any of this painful stuff anymore. That doesn't work either. It's a lifelong process because things, people, situations, circumstances trigger us, our own behaviors trigger us, our old patterns are always there at the back of our heads ready to strike. We have to be watchful, we have to be aware, we have to have a constant reminder about self-compassion built within. We have to get it done. So it's a lifelong process. But yes, however difficult it may be, it is possible to do it on your own. On the internet, on YouTube, on Instagram, there are a lot of good people offering a lot of help. It is free. It takes a bit of time to get through to it, but it is there available. Do take advantage of it. And if I could perhaps prompt you to just think about it, that if you are at a position in your life where you are struggling or you've been struggling for a long time, if a lot of things in your life don't make sense financially, health-wise, relationship-wise, work-wise, or other things, if there are things that you feel a lot of shame to talk about, even to admit to yourself, to think about it or to revisit them, perhaps you should think about starting your own work, starting to look at yourself, starting to work at yourself, starting to heal the wounds that you carry. Think about it. And thank you very much for taking the time and watching the video, and I'll see you soon.